Okay, just another love reference, and it doesn't even have to do with sports. Vladimir Putin. I mean, whether this story is true or not, it was a headline news article. He was missing, and there's articles saying that he was actually in Switzerland because of the birth of a love child, which, by the way, Switzerland adds up to 151, just like Valentine's. Also, Vladimir Putin, his first name adds up to 88, and his whole name adds up to 88 and 80, so 168. Anyway, let's check out this article here. If it'll load, it's been going really slow, big time. So, according to this article, he supposedly had a child with this retired Olympic gymnast, Alina Kabaeva. But I'll go back to that in a second. I just want to scroll down here a little bit. Where is it? They talk about two a few times here. Two canceled meetings since then have Kremlin watchers furiously trying to figure out where Putin is and what he's doing. So two, and then you find out Putin has two adult children with his ex-wife, and has insisted no relationship with the gymnast. So he has two children. They canceled two meetings. So let's check out Alina Kabaeva then. Okay, well, she was born on May 12th, and May 12th is what, the 132nd day of the year, which is 66 plus 66. It also says she is the second most successful rhythmic gymnast ever after this girl, however you pronounce that. So another two, second most successful. Let's check out this girl then. She was born on April 2nd, which is 4-2, or 2-4, depending on America, we say 4-2, but other countries, they say 2-4. And she's 24 years old. Now, this is where it got me. Her weight is 49 kilograms. 49 kilograms is actually 108 pounds. 108 is 54 plus 54. So 108 goes to 49 kilograms, but 54 is the mirror of 45. So 49 and 45 I've talked about a whole bunch. 45 is Valentine's Day. And then the 49th prime number is 227, which is also Valentine's Day on the Julian calendar. I also find it interesting that Putin is actually born in 1952. I just talked about 52 with Michael Jordan. 52, and that means, or he'll be 63 this year, but he was born in 1952, which is 1776 plus 88 plus 88. And he was also the second and the fourth president of Russia. Also, I just want to point out a few more love, rose, heart, whatever, Valentine's, lovey-dovey type stories here. Pete Rose, a famous baseball player, he's in the news for the last few days because he wants to get reinstated. And reinstated because a long time ago he gambled on baseball, so they kicked him out or whatever. So it's just kind of interesting, he wants to be reinstated again. I mean, I know he's tried this multiple times in the past, but it's just kind of funny that it's in the news again all of a sudden. And what's even funnier is that he played for the Cincinnati Reds, so red in the heart color. Also, he was born on April 14th, which is the 104th day of the year, which is 52 and 52. And he is 73 years old. And of course, Pete Rose, it goes hand in hand, doesn't it? He is a member of the Order of Demolay, as a young boy, encouraged by his parents to participate in sports. And DeMolay is an international organization for young men ages 12 to 21. The Mirrors, 12-21. It gets its name from Jacques DeMolay. And he was the 23rd and last Grand Master of the Knights Templar. And he also died on the 77th day of the year. It even says in 1973, so talked about that forever, 73, big number, Rose led the league with 230 hits and a 338 batting average and whatever. And leading the Big Red Machine to the 1973 National League Championship Series against the New York Mets. Well, 230 is 115 and 115, which is 11/5, or November 5th, which is the day Doc Brown discovered time travel, which from Valentine's Day until Michael J. Fox's birthday, it is 115 days as well. So 11/5, 115. Hopefully you understand what I'm saying. That's pretty crazy. And then it's 1973. And then you read down here, during the fifth inning of Game 3 of the series, Joe Morgan hit a double play, so 2, ball to Mets first baseman John Milner with Rose on first. Rose slid into second, 2, attempting to break up the 2 play and cited a fight with the Mets shortstop Bud Harrelson. And they were going to call the game off and whatever. And the game ended up going on. But despite the Reds ended up losing that game 9-2 and the NLCS 3-2 despite Rose's 381 batting average in the series and his 8th inning home run to tie game 1. 8th inning home run, come on. And 12th inning home run to win game 4? Really? That's just craziness. I mean, you read down a little bit farther. He had a 44-game hitting streak, 44, on May 5th, 1978, 5-5. That is a huge day. I've talked about it. May 5th actually adds up to 88. It's all kinds of stuff. I did previous videos. Not going to go into it. Anyway, that day he became the 13th player in Major League to collect his 3,000th career hit. Blah, 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 blah. I'm not even going to read that. There's a part down here. Oh, Rose would proceed to get a hit in every game he played until August 1st, making a run at Joe DiMaggio's record 56-game hitting streak, which had stood virtually unchallenged for 37 years. I mean, 37, and he had a 44-game hitting streak. It even says how the streak was almost broken for him. On July 19th, against the Philadelphia Phillies, Rose was hitless going into the 9th inning with his team trailing. He ended up walking in the 8th inning, and the streak appeared to be over. But the Reds managed to bat through their entire lineup, giving Rose another chance to bat in the 9th inning. I mean, and then he extended the streak to 32 games. So they thought it was over in the 8th inning. Why they even need to write all this in here, I don't know. It's just kind of weird. The guy who ended the streak was this guy, and he was born November 13th, 1947. It was weird is that the streak went from June 14th until August 1st, which is 47 days. But this guy was born in 47. He retired in 1988. And it says here, Garber struck out Rose swinging on a 2-2 changeup to end the streak. So 22 to end the 44-game base hit streak. And also, on another note here, Jack Haley, a basketball player, died. Just thought of it. He was actually on the Chicago Bulls championship team. And let me read here. I'm not for sure what the year is. 96, I believe it is. You can come here and read it if you want. 95, 96. Yeah, so he was a member of the 95-96 Bulls team, which won a record 72 games in the NBA championship. However, Haley spent almost the entire season on the injured list with tendonitis in his left knee. As a result, he only played in one game during the regular season and did not participate in the playoffs. But, I mean, just look at some of the things here. His numbers were 15, 44, and 54. Well, 2015, 44, talked about tons, and 54 is 54 and 45. The mirrors, Valentine's Day. And then Michael Jordan, he played on the same team as Michael Jordan. He was also drafted in 1987 by the Bulls and made his debut on November 9th, 1988. So 9/11/88. He was even the 79th overall pick in the 1987 draft, which is 20. The 22nd prime number is 79, and 22 years after 1973 was 2001. The World Trade Center. The World Trade Center was opened in 1973, and 22 years later, it supposedly got hit by airplanes. And 1987 just happens to be the halfway point, exact halfway point. And he also went to UCLA, which I talked about multiple times over Valentine's Lupercalia weekend or whatever. Like all the players, the slam dunk guy went to UCLA. Kevin Love, that used to be on the Wolves, went to UCLA. Russell Westbrook went to UCLA. I mean, just it's crazy. Kevin Looney was the best player on Valentine's Day for UCLA. And go figure, I mean, he died of heart disease. And like, what is the deal with all these like NBA players? Like Jerome Kersey dies of a heart thing, and this guy dies of something with a heart. Really, they're in shape. They shouldn't be dying of. I mean, not saying it's not possible, but why are they dying of heart disease? I mean, that's craziness. And I guess last thing I'm going to say here on this is that once again they're doing Michael Jordan crap, and it's like, why are they? Why does Michael Jordan matter? They have never brought him up this much since. I mean, in how many years? He hasn't played since what, 2003 or something, 2002 or three. I mean, and now all of a sudden this year he's just in the news like crazy. Nike files to dismiss Jordan suit, and some guy claims that Nike stole his Michael Jordan, the picture or whatever, to use for their shoe. I mean, there's nothing really that significant in here. It's just the story in general. Like, why is Michael Jordan so freaking famous? Like, recently, you know what I mean? I mean, he's always been famous, but like, what is the deal with this year? Like, I have to be onto something. It's just insane. He's in a ton of news stories. But it does say that Nike started using the Jumpman logo on its shoes in 1987. And I've talked about 87 being the halfway point of the World Trade Center being opened and the World Trade Center being bombed. Well, I mean, anyway, that's all I really want to say about it. I got a ton. I always have a ton more to talk about. I just can't even organize all my thoughts. It's ridiculous. And I apologize. I just kind of go with the flow here and just talk. So maybe someday I'll get it more organized before I make videos. But anyway, just have a great night. Just think about it. Michael Jordan, again, I'm sure he'll be in the news in a couple days. I mean, I don't know. You know, they're doing it for sure. I just don't know where exactly they're going with it. So, but anyway, have a great night.